Welcome to another episode of Pierre's Panic Room. You know how we do every week. We have a good guest. And hey, this week ain't no different, all right? But before I get into it, first of all, I want to thank y'all. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. Boom, there you go. Or, hit the subscribe button so we can let you know every time where something comes up, man. You can watch the show. For those who've been watching it, thank you so much. I get a lot of love on the streets. Thank y'all for stopping me saying, man, I love your show. I love Pierre's Panic Room. Sometimes y'all say Panic Room, but it's not that. It's Pierre's Panic Room. The whole damn thing. Pierre's Panic Room. Gotta say the whole word, okay? All right, y'all. So you know how I do, I dig into the comments. Well, I don't dig into them, my crew digs into them, they pull out stuff. So let's talk about some of the episodes we have. This is the Joe Claire episode. Remember my man Joe Claire? Shout out to Joe Claire, rap legend, Rap City legend from BET. All right, Chris Alvarez says, bruh, you picked out the good comments that wasn't your staff. LOL. You ain't got to lie to kick it. Oh, so you're trying to say when something's good, I'm picking it out, not my crew? You a hater, Chris Alvarez. You a hater. All right, but you're a watcher, so a viewer, so I don't give a damn. All right, Terrence Watts said, Pierre underrated. He funny as fuck. Keep doing your thing, OG. That's what I'm talking about. Thank you, Terrence. A shout out to you, brother. I appreciate that. Now I can read more of those. All right, this one is from The Fresh One. Pierre told that man at 30.280. Oh man, you really broke it down. At 32.280, you're a liar, and I can't stop laughing. Them side comments from Pierre had me crying. But I got my slick mouth. I'm a comedian. That's how we do. In fact, speaking of comedian, we have a great one here today. That's right, we got a great one. You know who it is already. That's why you're tuned in. You know who we have. We have a living legend, man. Every comic respects this brother right here. It's a pleasure for me to get him on the show, man. I had to search high and low to get him, but we got him. He came in and he cleaned. Boy, he cleaned it. Hey, boy, making me feel bad about what I got to give it up for the one and only Mr. Michael Colyar. Michael Colyar. Look at that, whoa. Look at your boy. Damn, man.
Thank you, brother.
Did you know you were coming to my show? Did you really know?
That's why I dressed, brother. I premiered this suit for you, brother. Brand. Ain't nobody seen this one before.
No, I did. I have not, brother. I appreciate it. And the hat and all that. Who helped you coordinate? Do you coordinate yourself, brother?
No, I don't have no stuff like that.
You no stylist?
I get them, put the clothes on and leave, man.
Hell no.
Okay, what's like stylist now?
Well, look, brother, I'm very excited about having you. I really am, man. Thank you, brother.
I appreciate it. I love your show, so this is good.
I appreciate it. And I've known you for years. Years have I known you, man. I didn't realize, when I do all this research, I was like, damn, Mike been around for a while, but I've known Mike for a while, too, though. You know what I'm saying? I've known you for a while.
Were you in on Hollywood Shuffle as well?
No.
You didn't get here that early?
No, I got here in 90. I got the LA 90. Yeah. That had to be like 87-ish.
Actually, 86, 87.
Yeah, 87, yeah. I actually saw that movie in a movie theater.
That's first time.
Yeah. I mean, I went to the movie theater to see it. I've always been a fan of it. Oh yeah, it was. And when I got to Hollywood, I understood Hollywood Shuffle better.
Oh yeah.
For those who never seen it, check it out. It's a classic.
And nothing's changed.
Speaking of that, because Robert Townsend was in that, you both are from Chicago. You're Chicago brother.
Southside Projects, Robert Tellerhome, 4352 South State, apartment 909, brother.
Damn.
That's my shit.
Really, Robert Tellerhome was rough. That's like Cabrini Green, that was tough.
They're rough. They was right next door to Cabrini Green.
Cause hold on, Cabrini Green had the Candyman. Who'd y'all have? We know the Candyman over Cabrini Green, and y'all had who?
I didn't know who's the Candyman.
You know what I'm saying? Movie Candyman. Y'all say Candyman 3 times in the mirror.
Oh,
Candyman.
He was over there.
He came out of Cabrini Green. Oh man, y'all wasn't rough on the rock.
Candyman. We had Jeff Ford, who started Blackstone Rangers, brother. He lived in my building on the 16th floor. Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay, my bad.
Now known as the El Rukin. Yeah.
Okay. Well, you okay? Well, damn. So. You were in the hood.
Yeah, I was. I mean, cause I'm 114.
I thought
we moved into projects when they were still high-rise buildings. I moved in We moved in '63.
Okay.
So they weren't. Nobody peed in the elevator.
Right.
Graffiti
It was
on
still
the
fresh.
walls.
Oh yeah.
It was still like a high-rise building. We had actually a swimming pool and the whole thing. And then within about 5 years, it became projects. So the gangs had established themselves, and it was
right.
rough.
Now from what maybe I'm wrong. You tell me, give me the history of it. Like Robert Taylor homes were built like in the 40s for white folks, if I'm not mistaken, and then black people. They were made for.
They was made for black people.
They really were?
Yeah. In fact, they did a study in New York before they made them about what would happen if you stacked people on top of each other. It's called a rat test. It's a very famous test.
Really?
And they took crates of rats, and although they fed them, they put them in these crates together and they slowly killed each other off.
Yeah.
And they said, let's do the project. That's because you notice all projects have a freeway that's near the projects. The freeway always runs near the projects so they can bring tanks down on the freeway. If the black people who they've now cordoned in one area went off, then they could just roll tanks in.
So y'all had, okay, that makes sense, because y'all had rats, and I date hood rats from the project, so rat the rat.
Yep, and some of them did from when I got there, same rats.
Some of the mama rats and the grandma rats.
Everything.
So, all right, growing up, what was your structure of your family? When you were a kid, were your parents around together?
Oh yeah, I had my mother and dad, my father transcended when I was 12.
Okay.
But by then he had taught us everything we need to know. We already know how to cook, how to clean, how to iron, how to talk to people, how to be respectful, So I had a great mother and father. My mother is everything. She transcended 12 years ago, and I never cried a tear. She hasn't left me for a moment.
Nice.
She still informs my every decision. I talk to her every day. Of course, if I hear her talk back, I will be getting professional. Right. But I'm just saying, she's everything.
Right. Now, did you have brothers and sisters? How that?
I have 4 big brothers, and I'm the youngest, so it was 5 boys.
It was 5 boys. Yeah. 5 boys. Yeah. Now, how did they keep you? Because were gangs around when you were a kid? Because you.
The Blackstone Rangers started in where we were, in my building, at 4350 South State.
But how old were you when they started? Were you 10, 15?
When I got there, I was like 5, and they seemed like they were just forming. They were just sort of really pulling it together. I don't know exact dates that they started.
Right. So were your brothers involved in it because they were older than you? Did they get pulled into that stuff?
No, none of us was pulled into it because they all knew my family. And we were all brothers, 5 brothers. So we were a built-in gang. So wasn't no gang people gonna come to us trying to make us do nothing, because then you got to fight 5 brothers. Right. So we never had problems with them. My brothers were friends with Jeff Ford, the guy that started. Yeah.
How do kids not get pulled into it? And when you live right in the building where it starts with your parent, I get your mother, father.
Because you know folks who's got juice, who's not gonna let people mess with you.
Okay.
I mean, if you growing up there and you're a kid, and then the teenager is a gangbanger, he's watching you as a kid. You probably went to school with his little brother, so you're part of it. People aren't scared of projects who live in the projects.
Right.
People scared of projects, people who ain't supposed to be up in there.
Like me, I've gone in plenty of time trying to get some poo-tang from some girls. I'm like, girl, I'm gonna keep the car rolling. I'm going out about 5 miles an hour. Come run out the house and come on and jump in this car, because I ain't hitting the brakes.
Best coochie in the world, Project Coochie.
Oh, come on now,
such a selection.
Yes, it is. Yes.
It's so funny when I was
such a selection.
When I was
infections. I've had them all.
Quite a few.
I've had all of them.
When I was in Germany as military police, they had a place in Nuremberg called The Wall.
Come on.
And it's like 5 blocks of high. Well, the building was only 5 stories high, and there would be a prostitute positioned in every window, and you could just walk down and shop like you were at a grocery store. I'm gonna talk to the black, I'm gonna talk to the redhead, and it was all sanctioned through the government, so they had to have their shots and stuff, and the police walked up and down there to protect.
And this is in Nuremberg.
Nuremberg, yeah.
And see, I was just going to tell you that I'm half German. My mother's from Nuremberg. Nigga, you done fucked it up.
Are you serious?
Man, I got to talk to my father, my parents, man.
Your parents are German?
My mother's from Nuremberg, nigga. My mama did not do that now.
Man, ich bin in Deutschland vielleicht 3 Jahre.
Ja, gut, man, Mutter ist
Ich
Deutsch,
spreche sehr bisschen Deutsch,
ein bisschen
mein
Deutsch,
Herr.
ja, das
Ich
ist
bin
gut.
Militärpolizei.
Ja, du was?
Ich bin,
Arschloch, dieses Arschloch, ja, du. Ja, she was an Arschloch.
Einfach.
Einfach,
yeah, that means simple.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it sounds dirty.
Einfach, 2 fucks.
Sounds dirtier than
yeah. But yeah.
I loved Germany. I was there for 3.5 years. Military police kicking ass.
What years were you in Germany?
Soon as I got out of high school, 75 to 78.
There's gonna be some light-skinned kids out that motherfucker around that age.
I'm recently single, and I haven't been single since 78.
Wow.
That's cold.
Go back there and get your kids.
That's cold-blooded.
Shit, meet them, okay? Vater! Ja, Gusti, I had not seen you.
Good, mein
man. That's cool. Okay, so
wait, is your mother still with us?
No, she transitioned.
Oh, okay.
Well, 15 years ago, but yeah, she was a feisty one too. She worked at clubs. I do a whole set. I have a special that I'm about to put out that talks about me growing up in Germany with a German mother and so forth. Man, it was a great time. I didn't know racism until I got to America.
Wow.
Shit, I found out quickly. Nigga, you with us or them? It was
I didn't know until I moved to Morgan Park.
Yes, so, I saw that Morgan Park. Yeah,
I lived in the projects, but everybody around me was black, so I didn't know racism.
And Morgan Park was also a housing project.
No.
Morgan Park wasn't?
No, Morgan Park was a real. Raising in the Sun, the neighborhood they called Clybourne Park was Morgan Park.
Oh,
that was the neighborhood it was written about a very nice upscale neighborhood where you could afford the property and it was neat.
Had grass in your front yard.
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Oh.
It was beautiful. I mean, that's the first time I even met a white person.
Really?
When I moved to Morgan Park, because we went to Morgan Park High School.
High school, I heard
so
that,
we had
right.
to walk over to where the white folks were. And when I got there, the school was like 75% white, 20% black, 5% others. That was 71.
Others? Oh, okay.
Yeah, Hispanic, Asian. And then when I got out in 75, it was like 85% black. And
wow.
It turned at like 4
Really,
years.
really.
But it was amazing.
As a little child, I always like to ask comedians, what kind of shows were you watching, TV shows? What were you into? Like Flip Wilson, was you that old?
Flip Wilson, loved Flip Wilson, Red Skelton, Jackie Gleason.
So you did a lot of white shows. You didn't do what's that movie called, Julia?
There wasn't a lot of black shows. I loved Julia.
Yeah, Julia was black.
Absolutely loved Julia, but that was it. You had Julia, you had I Spy.
I Spy, right.
Who else? Where else was
Flip
black
Wilson
people?
show.
Flip Wilson.
Yep.
I'm not old enough to remember Nat King Cole, but he had like the first.
Amos and Andy.
Right. Yeah, and I don't remember Amos.
That when you watched that?
My parents wouldn't probably let me watch that shit. No.
You ain't that old, right? You're old, but not that
old.
old.
Old enough, but I don't think they would have let us watch that. That wasn't on a level of. I mean, we were readers.
Okay.
I don't know sports because I wasn't there. I was at the gym. I was in the library.
Really?
So we had to read. In our family, we had to learn a word a day. We had to study encyclopedias, So words are like my shit.
Okay. Yeah. Now, did you, being a comedian, I know you weren't a comedian back then, so did you ever run into Robert Towns? Did you know him before you came to Hollywood, before you did that movie with him?
I don't know why I knew Robert from Chicago, because when he moved to LA, I actually helped him move a jukebox that his grandmother gave him into his house out here in what's the area when you go up down Highland? It's a Highland through Hollywood. It's a very nice.
Oh yeah, that's I used to live near there. That's Hancock Park.
Hancock Park.
Yeah.
He was moving into an apartment in Hancock Park.
Really? Yeah. I lived in Hancock Park. He had a little money then.
Yeah.
Do you know that's where Nat King Cole tried to move into,
exactly.
and then was turned upside down.
Moved in.
Yeah, I know, but they didn't want that Negro to be there.
They didn't want him in.
Yeah, they didn't fight for that.
His daughters go to that school.
Yep, isn't that crazy? Hancock Park.
Cute story though. He one of the neighbors did invite him to a Christmas party because they figured out who he was.
Right, sure.
And they invited him to play piano, and he
why wouldn't they?
and he sang, and then he presented them with a bill, brother.
What?
Yes, sir. He presented them with a bill.
I like that.
Natalie told us that story.
Oh, did she?
Natalie Cole told us that story one day. And after that, they started letting his daughters go to school. They started treating them a little better.
Really?
But they would do terrible stuff, man. They would try to tear his fences down.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I read that shit. Yeah, man. That was. But he broke through that. Speaking of, schooling, you went to Chicago State?
No. Oh, yeah. I went there at the Morgan Park.
Right.
Then after Olive Harvey. So I went to Olive Harvey Junior College in Chicago State University to finish up.
What were you studying? What were you trying to be back then?
I was studying business management.
Okay.
That's what I was studying.
Really?
And
of course, it was before comedy. So you foresaw yourself as being running a company or something like that, a corporation? Is that what you wanted to do?
I didn't know what I wanted to do. In high school, I was trying to be an attorney, and then them classes got too tough, so I said, fuck that. And then as high school started to end, then I got into acting. Actually, we got into acting the first year. My first year in high school, I watched a play called Guys and Dolls.
Guys and Dolls?
And I was smitten. It was over. I knew that's what I was going to do the rest of my life.
I can't even see it, really, because that's a white play, and they're singing and dancing.
Not in Morgan Park in '72.
Oh, okay.
No, it was,
okay, the black people doing that.
Well, actually, our school was predominantly white.
Oh, Morgan Park, right.
So
I see.
most of the actors was white.
Okay.
About a third of them was black. Okay. Several was Asian. And so it was so magical to watch all these different races that hung out together. That's what sold me.
Right,
it wasn't the play itself, which was awesome and off the chain and fun, but I went to a thing called a cast party, or what they call the rap party.
Sure.
They did after they wrapped the play. And I never heard of a rap party. I didn't know what any of this was, but I knew it was a party and it was going to be in Beverly, because there's a neighborhood called Beverly there, which is our Beverly Hills.
Oh, okay.
So when you go to Morgan Park, the next community you hit over is Beverly.
Okay.
So the folks from Beverly really financed Morgan Park. So I took 4 years of Latin, brother. We had German class, we had chess class. We had stuff you couldn't imagine that was in the school because all that white money was
right,
there,
right.
So the cast party was thrown by one of the white kids who was in the play. So we ended up going into Beverly, into one of the mansions. And that was impressive, but was impressive that everybody treated each other with dignity and respect because we had a common bond. We were all actors.
Right.
At least they were. I was just sneaking in. After that, I got a lead in the play every year for the rest for my rest of the run in high school because I was determined to be an actor.
How far away or what close was a movie like Cooley High? That's all I understood as far as Chicago. Before you moved to Morgan Park, of course, did you see, is that a true, was a depiction of Chicago, Cooley High? Or
I think it was right spot on.
Really?
Yeah, that really was the hood parts
of that.
Of Chicago, absolutely.
Right, okay.
Because we lived like in that kind of neighborhood before we moved to the projects.
Before you moved to the projects?
Yeah, before we moved to the projects, we lived in the kind of neighborhood they were running through. So when we moved to the projects, like we moved to the upper ghetto from the lower ghetto.
Damn, you from one project to the next project, but one high, okay.
I lived on 67 East Ellis, and it was hood. Then we lived in what they called a 3-story walk-up. In fact, we did not have but a single room for my family of 7 when we started on the 3rd floor. And then as we lived there, they cut a hole in the wall and connected to the next apartment. So we end up having those 2 together. But when we started, my mom and dad shared the couch in the living room, which pulled out into a bed. And then we shared 3 beds. My oldest brother had his own bed. Me and my brothers had twin beds that 2 and 2 was in sharing the bed. We laid stock, head to toe. So, things didn't get out of control.
Right.
No accidents.
Right. I did that once.
But yeah.
But comedian. But that okay. But so that was in Chicago. Okay, cool. So you got back. So you went to college. When around did you get the comedy bug? Did you see a stand-up comedy?
Well, right after I finished high school.
Okay, you're 18 years old around this time.
Yeah, right. Okay. And I was feeling the comedy bug, but then I was really into the acting thing.
Sure.
So I had applied to the military, to be military police and to be stationed somewhere, but then I changed my mind. But I had signed up on a delayed entry program where you guarantee that when you graduate from high school, you'll go into service. In return, they guarantee where you're stationed, what your job is.
Okay.
So, but I didn't do that because I was so into theater that when it was over, I just took a box of my little things and came to California and started trying to be an actor.
Okay, so hold on. You get out was it Army?
No, it's out of military. I got out of high school.
But what branch? What
Army.
So I said Army.
Yeah.
So you were in the Army. So you just basically got back to the United States and said, F it, let me get my box and just go to LA, not knowing no one in LA and knowing nothing. You just
No, before I got to the military. I had signed up for the military, but I didn't go. Instead, I came to California to be an actor.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
And so I became AWOL before I even got in.
Damn,
so I was 22 days AWOL before I even went in the service.
Okay.
And I only went in because they had bugging my mama. They sent letters to my mama and he signed
looking for
up.
Yeah.
You can be in trouble and all this. And I was here getting it in. I was at the Lee Strasberg School. I was going down, watching. I wasn't in the classes, but I was sitting in monitoring classes. I fell in love with this cold sister who was an actress. I was waiting tables at the, what is it? Because now it's Walgreens. And it's at Florence and La Brea. It was called Sir Graham.
Sir Graham?
It was called Sir Graham.
What year are we talking about this? I don't have an idea.
This is 86.
86,
85,
okay.
86.
85, 86.
And Sir Graham was one of them clubs where the old players would what's the place now that's on, it's called La something. La Louisiane?
Okay, yeah.
It was like La Louisiane. It was a club where the old players would go to meet the young girls. The young girls would go to hang out with the old players. The old players still had the suits from when they were young players.
Right.
But they would be there with their hat broke down. They old crocodiles and stuff, and they little pinky rings. And and it was the spot. So I would go there and wait tables. That's how I got my first job.
Right. Now, hold on a minute. So I'm getting this correct. So this was after you came back from service, or this was the 22 days when you was on AWOL?
Yeah, it was the 30 days I was in this town.
Okay.
And I was AWOL.
So then you went to the service for a couple of years, right? To Germany? Right.
Service.
Then when you got out, you said, I'm going back to LA.
Right, but I still wasn't doing comedy yet.
Okay.
I came back to LA to be an actor.
An actor, I get that.
And then when I came back to be an actor, all my friends were like, dude, you should do stand-up.
But where did you stay? Back then, I'm interested because I remember how I came out here. Did you have a friend to live with?
I lived in my mama's basement.
In fact, your mom went to California? No, when you
I came back to Chicago.
I know, but when you decided to come to LA for the last time, and then after that, where did you stay? How did you survive coming back to LA from the service? You had to do something.
When I came here, I lived with my brother, my oldest brother.
Oh, okay, now that makes sense.
He was a baller and a shot caller. Dave Colyar was a bad boy. Still the coldest brother I ever met in my life. And I miss him cold. I miss cold brother. My brother Dave Jr. was bad boy.
And so that's how you survived, living-wise, at least to have a roof over your head for the first couple of months at least, or however long y'all stayed.
I'm trying to see how this actually happened. No, this is the way it happened.
All right.
I went to high school. From high school, I joined the Army. I got in military police, but also did theater while I was in high school. I ran theater while I was over in Germany. Then when I came back, I got a job, went to college, had a son, and while all this was going on, I was at an acting company called Free Street Theater. Here in Los Angeles, still in Chicago.
Oh, Chicago.
I came back to Chicago. I was doing Free Street Theater, and that's when I discovered comedy. So I started doing comedy in '86, right? So 85, 86, I was doing comedy as a street performer. So my partners had taught me in standing in the street doing. I wasn't gonna do that shit. I was like, I ain't no street puppet. I ain't doing that shit. And they said, well, come with us after lunch and look at us turn our money in. And they had a sack of money. I said, well, nigga, got to try it. So I came back and did it. And I was so good at it. I made so much money that I quit everything else. And remember, I was a full-time waiter at a restaurant, full-time actor, Free Street Theater, going to school full-time, and raising my son. Quit all that shit. And stood in the street and told jokes instead, because I was making so much money.
For my folks in Chicago, where were you doing that at?
Okay, well, I started out, and Oprah used to come and see me. I started out on Rush.
Oh, come on, man. I'm not on my show. You ain't got bullshit me on my show, man.
I was at Rush
Oprah Winfrey came to see you.
And paid me, brother.
Come on, that's a little extra. Probably took you dinner, too,
nigga,
shit, while we had it.
Can you curse on this show?
You damn right you can.
Okay, so I only had 3 jokes.
Okay.
And a poem that I had borrowed from Oscar Brown Jr. You didn't know who that was? Oscar Brown Jr. was a great poet and playwright in the 60s and the 70s.
Okay.
So he had a poem called No Roaches.
Go ahead.
As this grave topic one approaches, care and feeding of cockroaches by this fact one is quickly struck. While seeing roaches run amok, call it destiny or luck. Roaches sure do love to fuck. There's no creature in existence who is fucked with such persistence. Roaches can't leave fuck alone. Therefore, just to hold your own in your household, make it known that you want them fuckers gone. No roaches. No more saying British noches to a household full of roaches. Knowing all up in the wall, they've been fucking on the crawl. Having them a buggy ball. Listen, roaches, one and all. If I see you, bam, I got you. Adios, la cucaracha. Not that I find killing fun, but one of 2 things must be done. Off you or get overrun. Therefore, I say nada, none. No roaches. So I was standing out there doing 3 jokes. That's only half of it. I dropped the middle for the show. But I would start with the jokes, and then before I would do the poem, I would say, man, I'm going to end with this fantastic poem, but I got to get my money first. Right. Because that's the key to any street performance. You got to get paid before you do your last shit, because who's going to stay? You know. So I would collect the money, and the poem would be the hook. And I would stand in front of a very famous restaurant right at Rush Street, and I would do my stuff, and Oprah would come down for lunch, and she would stop in the crowd and watch and pay me. And this is before Oprah went national, because Oprah was local. She was just local news, ABC News in Chicago. But then she killed Phil Donahue. Phil Donahue was the biggest guy in television. Oprah came in. Took off her shoes, sat on the floor, talked about shit nobody else was talking about. Her ratings beat his. Then they extended her show national. I remember that. And then the second year after that, she built her own studio. But before any of that was happening, she would come out and watch me. She'd come out and give me a couple of dollars. Yeah. So that was talking about roaches and shit. Yeah.
All right, and funny you said, because this is where I met you in LA when I came to visit in '89. You were at the beach at the time. So you come to LA after you decide I'm moving to LA. You come to LA. How do you have I don't say the nerve, because if you're in front of Chicago, in front of niggas doing that, you could easily take it to the beach. What made you take it to the beach? Just as an extension? Say, hey, I did it.
Well, first of all, winter came. Wasn't nobody trying to hear no motherfucking jokes in Chicago in December.
True, that makes sense.
I sold everything that would not fit my car. I had a 1967 Buick LeSabre. I put everything in the car that would fit. I sold everything else. I took that money, my street money, and I drove. It took me 5 days. I drove across the country to come to LA because I thought I was going to San Francisco to do Fisherman's Wharf where nobody bothers you, you know. But when I got to LA, I think you met my first wife, Brooks.
Brooks, hell yeah.
Well, who's actually my second wife, Brooks. But you met Brooks.
Sure.
And I met Brooks when I got here. So I got here, I met her my day I was leaving. I met her. We sat in my car all night talking, but she's a flight attendant. So she could fly back and forth to San Fran and meet me because I had moved to San Fran.
Oh, you did? Okay, okay.
I was at Chicago State University, and I was, of course, with the 8 students, and all 8 students sort of hang together. And it was a little old 71-year-old woman who used to drive her cart around, and we were friends. And I said, man, I'm going to L.A. to do comedy. And she said, well, I got a daughter out there, and she's artsy like you. I didn't know she meant gay. And she's artsy like you.
Like you?
And I got there, and her daughter was about the size of this chair. And so was her girlfriend. She was so big, she would sit down and sit the plate on her stomach as a table and eat from the plate. Anyway, they had converted their garage into a place to stay, an apartment, so that's where I was headed. So when I came from Chicago, that's where I was heading. I just stopped at LA for a moment, and then I couldn't make it work. I did the Laugh Factory when it was the size of this room.
Wow.
I did last time.
Wow.
But they just let me do 5 minutes on Thursday. I couldn't get in nowhere, so I was waiting tables there.
Right.
And I said, I'm gonna go where I was going, Fisherman's Wharf. So I stayed 30 days, and then I drove up to that lady's house and stayed with her while I worked Fisherman's Wharf. Then I passed out on Fisherman's Wharf because it was cold as shit. I thought it was summer all year round in California.
Yeah, not up north.
I passed out from stomach flu, but by then, me and Brooks had been talking and shit. Oh, you gotta come to this place called Venice Beach. And Venice Beach changed my life. The 9 years there established who I am as a human being.
Well, you know, it's crazy. I remember I came out in '89 to watch the pilot of A Living Color being taken. Tommy Davidson was doing, because he's from D.C., and Martin was doing House Party.
Right.
And they said, let's go down to the beach. There's a guy on the beach that does shows and stuff. So, you know, I'm a young comic, I have no idea. And I go there, and you had that, because you did a couple times a day, I think you did, if I'm not mistaken, right? A couple times a day.
I did 5 1-hour shows a day.
Okay, so I would go there, and I saw you, and I was like, you up there, messing with people and being funny. I'm like, who is this jive ass nigga up in here doing this shit? That's what I thought, but I don't know you then, okay? I'm thinking this is some bullshit right here. But I was starting to get enthralled with it, because I was like, this dude is actually doing, like, because I'm used to stand-up comedy. I didn't see that kind of stuff. Going to people, joking, people walking by, you was messing with them and so forth, all that kind of crazy stuff. Shouting out to people. I'm like, what is this? I thought it was just some like vaudevillian shit, you know, that's doing. But I was watching, but then I'll be honest, I saw the beauty of what you did as I kept standing there looking at you, because we was with the crowd. I was like, no, this dude's playing this game. He's playing. It's not easy to be on top of shit every second. I'm like, hold up, this is some serious shit. And then I remember you, before the crowd about to leave, you said before they get paid, you had to get paid before they left and stuff like that. And were you a person that had something like a snapper or something?
Yeah, I get the money grabber.
The money grabber. I remember that. Yeah, I remember the money grabber, and I was like, damn. I just remember you did it, and then people would go away. You had a bag of money and shit, and you got it together and stuff. And I was like, wow. And I came one more time, because I was there for like 4 days. I was here for like 4 or 5 days. And I saw you down there do it again. And next time I turned around, I moved out here.
Right.
And I saw you, and you invited. I met you. You saw me somewhere. You were very gracious. You invited me to your house. You were living off of Pico in like a 2nd level apartment, right downstairs from Roscoe's. You were in Brooks and stuff upstairs.
And directly across the street from Donna Chavou. She lived with her family directly across the street from me. Yeah.
So I go upstairs and I met your wife and upstairs, and I was like, wow, this is. You were one of the stars to me at that point, believe it or not. Even just at the beach, but she was like, oh man. And you invited me to your house. It was so cool, so gracious. I was like, man, do people do this here in Hollywood? They invite people out, they meet them, say, come on to my house and shit. I was like, wow. And I remember, I really appreciated it. I'll tell this last story I always wanted to tell you. The first time I did Def Jam, 90, 91, I got picked to do Def Jam. I was nervous as hell. We only had, I think it was, I don't remember, it was a 5-minute set, 7-minute set, whatever it was.
Right.
I was trying to find places to perform. And I remember the night before, you said, come here. I have a place called Carlos and Charlie's. I want you to come upstairs and do your act. And I did my act, and the confidence grew, because I was nervous of trying to see how I'm going to do it. You were like, you were funny. And I think you had like a Monday night contest.
That was my first great room.
Was that what it was? Carlos and Charlie's. Right down in Hollywood, for those who know, right in was it Hollywood Sunset?
Hollywood, it was on Sunset.
On Sunset, right in front of
right on the curve.
Yeah, on the curve where everything is at and shit. And black people didn't have clubs, at least to me, not there. We'd be in the hood, way over there. Right, we went right there.
And that was Joan Rivers' aunt and uncle. So Joan Rivers' aunt and uncle ran that place. Carlos
really?
Yeah, she was there all the time.
And the next day I went to Def Jam, and the set y'all see me do on Def Jam, where I said, being shot at McDonald's, spreading bullets around equally. I did it before. I did the whole set at his club the night before. And I always appreciate it. Man, you gave me a place to go, to work out the night before, because I was trying to find,
I appreciate you remembering that.
Oh yeah.
We did Politically Incorrect there too. I just didn't know what it was I was doing, else I would have been in it. I didn't understand it.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you get a club like that?
Huh?
Oh, I'm sorry. Tell me about the Bill Maher story. I'm sorry.
No, it was just Bill Maher came there to do it with us. Bill Maher was a struggling comic like everybody else. And someone came up with the idea of politically correct, and we all sat around and we talked about it there. And then I actually did one of his politically corrects. I didn't know it would go on to be the huge monster it turned out to be.
That's real time. It turned into real time.
But I'll tell a story I never told on film though about I lost the opportunity to be on Living Color because I stole a piece of material that belonged to Keenan, and I didn't realize I stole it.
How's that?
Well, I was doing my whole routine. I had routine. My major piece was called The Basic Colored People's Routine. And I would make fun of all the different races. And then I tied up by talking about how racism is a joke. Back then, he had a joke about Arabians, how they would grab your head and run into traffic.
Okay.
And I saw him do that shit 2-3 years before I did it. And, the danger in watching other comics is you can watch another comic's performance and later say it yourself thinking you created it. That's a very real thing.
Sure.
I didn't even think about that anymore. And Keenan had stopped really doing stand-up. Keenan was now putting together the shows, he's putting together the movies, right? So I forgot it was even his. I didn't think about it. I did not consciously take his shit.
Sure, right.
And plus I need to.
Right.
I'm creative. I could think of shit, So I had this great piece and it worked its way in. One day I said it thinking that I thought of it. I didn't think nothing of it. So I built it onto my show. It was part of that big routine that I did. And him, what's the girl who I said I lived across the street from, who's a big casting director?
Donna Shavu.
Donna Shavu, not Donna Shavu, that was my agent, was Donna Shavu. But her friend who I said, Robbie Reed.
Robbie Reed,
They were best friends.
Oh, well, okay.
Robbie Reed and Donna Shavu were best friends, and Donna was my agent then. And so Robbie was taking Keenan around to shop in Living Color.
Sure.
I didn't know it. I was just at the Improv then with the second Improv, the one that had Santa Monica, helped 400 people.
Right, sure.
And I was in there, I was fucking kill it. And I watched them all walk in. I'm like, man, I'm doing my best shit. When it was over, they walked up to me. I'm thinking they like gonna talk to me about Living Color. Keenan said, nigga, you ever say my shit again, I'll fuck you up.
Wow.
And he sick something. And I said,
right.
Wait, I'm sorry, what piece are you talking about? He said, nigga, I'm not gonna tell you the piece. Do it again, I'm gonna fuck you up.
Damn.
I said, well, dude, I'm not gonna just stop doing everything I do.
Right, if you don't tell me right. Damn.
But then I went home and racked my brain until I went piece by piece systematically and figured out which was his. And I apologized to him a dozen times. I apologized to his brother and everything they said was cool, but to this day, they have never worked with me on anything. I've never been allowed to come to any auditions of theirs, of anybody connected to the family. And it's really weird because in a town like this, people will have a perceived slight. They'll think you slighted them, and they'll fuck over you for 20 years, 25 years. They'll make sure none of their friends will talk to you. They'll make sure you're doing, because it's a clicky, society.
Sure.
I mean, the blessing that God gave me is Venice Beach.
Right.
See, I know that I can go anywhere and talk shit and get paid. If push came to shove, I can carry my black ass back to Venice Beach, and I will make sacks of money. In fact, I'm going back out to shoot it this summer. We're building a stage that's look like a king's crown. I'm gonna stand in the middle of it. It's called the King of Venice Beach.
Well, as you well should. But with Keenan, you said you've talked to him, and he's told you personally that not, or people around him say y'all should be cool. Because I've had situations not with him, but with people that I've tried to talk to. Say we cool, and they say, oh, you cool. There are people say they were cool, but I can still feel they weren't cool. So with Keenan, you spoke to him personally. He said was cool.
I spoke to him and apologized several times, and to Damon as well. I think the first time I really talked to Damon in a long time. Damon always speaks to me though. He always speaks. That's one thing, they always speak to me. They're not disrespectful. They always speak. But there's 1,000 shows they've done that I could have auditioned for. I couldn't audition for none of that. I was never even brought in for none of that.
Okay.
I have to admit, I did come in for, but that wasn't theirs, but I did come in for South Park.
Right.
But no.
Nothing? You think
none of these
stuff.
stuff.
Keenan, come on, Keenan, let that grudge go.
I don't know if it's a grudge or not. I
know.
I ain't pointing fingers, because the good thing is I'm self-sufficient, so I don't need nobody. And that's the whole thing about the beach. That people have problems with me. I never need nobody because I could do the beach. And I did 5 shows every Saturday and Sunday. I did it all year round, summer and winter.
Right, but now, hold on. You were the king of the beach, but then you also was homeless. Now, how did that work together?
I was never homeless. That's a fabulous story.
Oh, is it really? I'm about to say that.
I've never said that shit.
Oh, you never said?
No.
I know they said you said you was hungry and starving on the beach and slept on the shit.
I ain't never said no shit like that.
Sand and
I never said no shit like that. But people have said that, and a lot of people I don't even correct them because some people need their myth. It makes that life better.
You ain't correct them.
Some people I don't even want to bust their. I don't want to bust their bubble, man.
I was there. I helped you when you was homeless.
Man, I love you, man. I love your struggle, man. You came from homelessness.
Well,
not me, nigga. I never came from no homelessness. Now I've been houseless for a long time. But I bought property now, so I ain't houseless no more. But no. You know what?
Is it because you gave that money to Star Search too?
That's pretty much what it was. But I would come to Venice Beach and feed the homeless every day.
Okay.
I would go buy 10 breakfasts.
Oh, wow.
They ain't cost but 99 cents each. But you ain't get no meat. But you got eggs, potatoes, toast, some jelly.
What?
Now if you sleeping under a park bench,
that's good.
And you got eggs and toast and jelly and potatoes.
Right.
That's a meal.
Right.
So I would get 10 of those, and when I came to the beach, before I start my morning, I would pass them out to the first 10, folks who's living out there, and all of them that lived out there weren't even homeless. That was their job. Their job was to come there and play bummy and do their shit.
Come on.
I'm not saying they went home to high rises.
Right.
They went home to bummy.
A decent home.
Yeah. No, they probably went home to bummy. Right. But they went home.
Right.
They had a place.
They had shelter.
But out there was where they
got their hustle.
Their place of operation, I would say.
Place of operation?
Place of operation.
Hell no.
But I watched addicts all the time, and then I became an addict while I was out there. But I'm trying to connect this story for you, why they think that I was.
Okay.
So they became like family to me because I interacted with all of them. They were friends of mine. Never got high with none of them niggas though. Okay. But I always was friends.
They had a good shit.
No, I wasn't. I always kept it separate. Nobody knew I was getting high except the people getting high with me and the motherfuckers sold it to me. But otherwise, they didn't know. I was what you call a functional addict. Sure. You know, I was functional while being dysfunctional because certain people knew. Sometimes I'd show up at auditions sweating like R. Kelly in the playground.
Hell no.
They could put it together and go, what you doing, you know? But because I was connected to folks like that, when I turned around and won Star Search, the first thing I did is give the money to the homeless. So people put 2 and 2 together and got 7. Right. They see me out there with the homeless, see me give money to the homeless. They know I come from street performance. So I figure this homeless guy pulled himself up. No, I never. But when I moved here, I was living in a rooming with a roomer. So that's true.
God damn, rooming with a roomer.
Yeah. I was living in a lady's apartment in a room. Everything I had was in my car. So I would live in her place. I was allowed to use the stove and the kitchen and stuff like that, but basically I stayed to my room, my little miniature TV and my little pistol and, you know, all my belongings in one place. And then I'd get up every Saturday and Sunday and I'd go and work, man. I'd work my ass off the whole weekend, get my money, come back, pay my bills. So I've moved 17 times since I've been in this town. But I'm pretty much stable now because of the house I
was homeless, man. Shit.
Yeah, pretty much. I was a nomad. I was a nomad, you know. Shit. But yeah, I never was. And, you know, and then I have to tell you, I ran into to Damon a few weeks ago at the Improv, and he's just always been the kindest person to me. Good. He was just really cool, and I always think that he was a genius. Right. Oh, when it came to performance.
I've always said that. He's one of the most underrated stand-up comics. I hate when you put a top 10 black comedians. Unfortunately, sometimes he doesn't make the list at all.
If Damon feels like doing it,
man, shit,
you can't touch him. He smoke on water.
Yeah. No, he's good.
You know, and I watched him a few weeks ago. He's still brilliant.
Right.
He's brilliant.
You've been open about your drug addiction and things. You know, you said you went to auditions, didn't have it. How'd you get started getting on drugs?
You know, it's a lifelong thing. I was doing drugs in Chicago. I wasn't really doing no crack or nothing, but I was smoking weed, and then I discovered Freebase. Thank you, Jesus. Wow. Freebase was delicious. It was wasn't nothing like Freebase. You don't know a hit like that. A hit like that.
It's better than Busting a Nut.
You didn't see God, but you saw his first goods.
Busting a Nut.
Oh, it was way better than
Better than Busting a Nut?
Oh, it was better than Coming.
Busting a Nut is shit.
And there's very few things
that you know, my friend.
Oh, shit. Man, please.
Fuck some drugs.
Ain't nothing, man. Coming is joy. Coming is joy.
Right, it is.
But that Freebase was a clean high. It was real clean and stuff. And I was selling Freebase. So I would sell, and I didn't have 5 customers. I made my money on 5 customers. They come and hand me the whole motherfucking check. Right. And they sit there till they smoke that check up, you know? So I was doing it, but then I made the mistake of using my own product. No added.
Getting high on your own supply.
On price. So I was getting high off my own supply, and it was pretty tasty. Right. So I really got into it. I did my whole thing. Then I sort of left it. I walked away from that. But then when I got out in California, I found drug culture again. Some of my friends, you know, we all had too much money. You know, I think it was Robin Williams that said it best. Right. You know, cocaine is God's way of saying you make too much goddamn money. So we was making too much money. I didn't owe nobody nothing. And you know, one day I figured, you know, what would happen if I put this rock over here and put some fire on that thing? And next thing I know, 23 years later, because I did crack for 23 years, I now have 11 years of pure sobriety. Shit. And doing that, but I know why God allowed me to be an addict for 23 years, because he know I'm gonna talk about it, brother.
Is that a rock right there?
No, man, I would have saw it before you. You can't tell me, because I've already scanned this entire area on my way in.
I saw that. I ain't mad at you. I thought that was a rock right there. Okay, all right.
Man, you don't even know
how
many days.
I want to see how tempting you are.
You don't know how many days we crawled around on them floors, man. But naked, looking for the next one.
Hell no. So wow. Now, you say you're a functioning addict. So that means you did stand-up comedy, you've done movies?
Everything. Wow, I was fucked up. I did 6 of the 7 Def Jam seasons. I hosted 1. I co-created Comic View. I've done about 30.
While you was high? While you was fucked up?
Yeah. Wow. But I never ever went to work high. Never. Never on a set, never on a stage. I respect what I do too much. I wouldn't shit on my craft.
So how long does it take the high to get down for you? Say for instance, you got to do Def Jam tomorrow night. You would just make sure you knew how to stop the high?
If I had to do Def Jam tomorrow night, I wouldn't get high today. Because tomorrow I'd be in a sluggish state.
That's what I'm saying.
Right. You're still coming out of it. People, your energy different today.
Right.
You'll be a whole different thing. If I knew I was working, I wouldn't go anywhere near it. And you know, my friend Charlie Barnett was pretty much like that too.
Yeah.
Charlie Barnett would work long enough to get dope money. Then he go get high.
Yeah.
He was
a street performer in New York, for those who don't know. Very famous.
He was a genius street performer.
He was supposed to get Saturday Night Live, you know?
Yeah, but he couldn't read.
Yeah.
And so when it came down to them sketches, the scripts, Eddie read better. And that's what got him out. But he was the noogie man in Miami Vice. Had them big old fingertips, real thick fingertips. And he was also in DC Cab. Driving DC Cab.
Yeah.
But just a brilliant, funny cat. He really was. And a nice guy, you know. But he had his demons. We all have our demons, man.
Can you think of what was the craziest thing you ever did high?
Well, several times I almost got killed.
What?
Because I would be going to try to go get dope.
In the hood, you mean, like in bad place?
Yeah, I remember once in Rialto, I was out in Rialto and I went to get some dope. And I was in a dark street, didn't have no street lights, but you see the niggas posted up.
Right.
And I walked up to the brother who said, yeah, he had it. And when he reached in his pocket to get it, I thought he was going for a gun. So I played like I had a gun. And this motherfucker had a gun for real. So he pulled out his real gun. Fuck you doing, nigga? And I was like, man, dude, I'm sorry, man. I just scared. Get your bitch ass out of here. So I almost got killed, got chased out.
Were you about to call you then?
And didn't even get the dope. Yes, I was.
You have been in fucked up places when they like, hold on, that's Michael Colyar.
Yeah.
And you're like, yeah, nigga, but where that rock at?
Yeah, but you know, they didn't know me by name like that, but people knew my face. So I'd be sneaking around trying to get some dope. And guys go, I know you, nigga. I saw you on TV. I'm like, motherfucker, don't be talking to me. You know, so yeah, I would, because the addiction owns you. So, you know, you start out smoking crack and crack ends up smoking you.
Wow.
So you had to go get it. You know, man, I'm gonna get that next rock. One more rock, nigga. It's all I need, one more rock, nigga. So, you know, so I would run into addicts that knew me. You know, they knew my work. You know, it's so funny too, because I was doing Teddy Carpenter's room in D.C.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
And it was snow up to your knees. And I walked around the corner to go to get something from the store, and a homeless man was just laying in a bundle of snow, bundled up with a blanket. And when I came back around, he was still there, so I pulled out $3 and gave him. He got out that snow and shook off his blanket, and he took the $3. He said, man, you know what? I saw you on HBO. I said, motherfucker, you got cable?
Yeah.
Give my goddamn $3 back. You know, so you don't know who's out there.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
How did you eventually beat it?
God, good old God. I would pray. I would pray to God that something would make me ill or take me. Like now, I can't go around cocaine. If I went around cocaine, I would automatically have a cocaine fart. My stomach would start churning. I would feel all the effects that I would feel if I was in it.
Oh, wow.
So I would ask God to make me sicker and sicker if I came near it. Like I couldn't even go to Washington Boulevard. I used to get my dope all up and down Washington Boulevard from La Brea to Rimpau. Those were all the little sneaky, nasty little hotel spots. I couldn't even, when I was coming out of this, I couldn't even drive down there without getting ill. I could not drive down.
Did you reach a low point of something saying this is it?
I mean, we all have our low point, but I don't know what my absolute low was. Because everybody has to hit their low.
Right.
You know, and people's lows are different. You know, some people low is that they just lost a job or they lost a wife. Some people got to be sucking dicks for $5. You know what I'm saying? So
$7.50 to $10 now.
Yeah, $7.50 to $10, but that's only because of gas. That's only because of gas.
Yeah.
You know, homeless people driving.
I get more.
So you know, you have to have the personal low. I know that I get sick and tired of being sick and tired. I get tired of watching my wife crying each night, and you know, I do a play called Michael Colyar's Mama. Right.
So
I do the whole story of what I do. And I talk about my addiction. I act out the addiction, you know, 3 o'clock in the morning, and the whole thing, you know. And somebody asked me, did my mother know? Well, I never got high anywhere in the vicinity of my mother, and we never discussed it.
Right.
Of course your mother knows. Your mother always know.
Right.
Trust me, I don't give a fuck what it is.
Right.
Your mama know, nigga.
Right.
Your mama know. Yeah, she know.
All right, let me change gears a little bit. Some of the great characters you've done, some things you've done, like I thought you were subpar. Were you high then when you were on Martin, when you played Mr. Whitaker?
Oh, that was so good. I've never high anywhere.
Oh, that's right, because you said work. That's why you just said.
But Martin was one of the most professional sets and one of the most professional times. Him and Murphy. Him and Eddie Murphy were the 2 most professional times I've ever been anywhere in the 35 years I've been doing this shit.
Really?
You know, Martin is a genius. And I don't like to throw that word around, but Martin is a genius. Martin could stand back and watch the set and tell you how to make it better. And you would think it's perfect, but Martin could see. He could go to his room while you're doing your scene and come back and whisper some shit in your ear that you should try. He wouldn't say do this or do that. But what if you did this? You would do that shit, and your shit would be 1,000 fucking times better.
Wow.
He was brilliant. The set he had.
People always remember you from that Mr. Whitaker too, though. You get stopped for that. You have to, because that's one of the
they
most...
run Martin every day, all over the world. That's true, so people are seeing it fresh and new. But kids are coming up to me, who knows Martin because they watch it now in the reruns. Yeah,
they were, and Martin had some iconic episodes, and that was one of them.
One of them, the headboard on the bed, was a classic.
Come on now,
the one where she played a man.
Right.
That was the classic. You know,
because you did 2. What are you about 2 or 3 episodes you do?
Probably about 7 episodes.
So 7 episodes.
Yeah. But only 2 really, they run over and over.
Right.
I did one way we went with him and he got an award at some fancy dinner and his back was messed up and I slapped him on his back. So there was several. Still getting checks from it. I got one the other day for 7 cents.
No.
And
you getting that much?
The Martin thing was really great. You know. But then you go full circle, and I did Martin's. 1 episode of his tour, Funny AF tour. We just did in Oakland, 7,000 people. He brought me out and forgot my name. Wow. And I'm like, wait a minute, you've given me 6 figures at least. Right. But I wasn't mad at him. I could have went up on the microphone and dogged him. Hell no. Martin did nothing but pay me. Hell, he put me on that job.
Right, sure.
So I ain't going up and say nothing negative about that brother.
You auditioned for it, but he came and saw and said, I want you on it, or he picked you for Mr. Whitaker. How'd you get that? Just auditioned? Or
Whitaker was an audition. But that came from Venice. All my early work came from Venice. People would see me on Venice and say, oh, you got to come audition for this.
Nice.
Oh, you got to. My first film was Hollywood Shuffle. Robert had known me bumping around at clubs here.
Sure.
And gave me that part. It was just one line. It was, no, it's a muffler. But that was my line. I made $1,004 to get the Screen Actors Guild. So y'all kiss my head.
There it is.
Then my second film, Johnny Be Good, with Anthony Michael Hall, Robert Downey Jr., Uma Thurman, when she was 17 and spoke 7 languages. The director saw me on Venice Beach, invited me in to audition, and when I auditioned, he gave me 2 other people's parts. So they was looking for 3 people. Instead, they said, we're gonna go with you and one other person, so a lot of my stuff, they saw me on the beach first.
Sure. Because you've been in a plethora of things. I mean, damn, brother. A lot
Poetic
of shit.
Justice. That audition, that was a tricky audition because Donna Chavou, who was my agent, and I was on her case because I wasn't going out for any black stuff. You know? Now, all these black movies was coming out. I wasn't going through any of it. I said, I don't understand how I'm not going out and your best friend is Robbie Reed, who's the biggest black casting agent on the planet. You know, trained by Reuben Cannon.
Wow.
Who was the first one, the first major. He did Paramount. He became Paramount's casting, was the biggest casting director. She sort of learned from him. Right?
Wow.
So I was like, how can Donna be how Don Savu's my agent, I don't go out
Go
for
for
nothing.
blacks,
So
right.
I think they call themselves throwing me a bone.
Okay.
So they gave me an audition for Poetic Justice that was 5 words. It was not even a full sentence as a homeless guy. So what I did is I went and got my dirtiest, nastiest clothes and funkiest shoes.
Okay.
I went and bought a homeless sign from a homeless guy.
Damn.
Who said I will work for food. I gave him $3. Say, nigga, go buy a sandwich. I took that sign and I stood in front of the audition spot and I marched back and forth, bugging everybody who would walk past, stopping cars and shit. Hey, I'm only 50 cents short of a hot dog. I don't need but 50 cents, I can get this hot dog. Dude, them nice shoes, I know you got $4, nigga, come on. And I would just be fucking with people, and security came out and said, sir, you can't do that out here. And I said, oh, I'm just practicing. I'm coming in to audition.
Nice.
And the security guard said, oh, okay. And he went back in. 5 minutes later, John Singleton came to the door. Michael Kay, what the hell are you doing? I said, I'm waiting for my audition. He said, come in here now. And I went in, did the audition. I ended up with 6 scenes. It started out with half a sentence. I was all through that fucking movie, bugging people. So I've been very blessed to be in the right place a lot of times.
But I also think the street performance helped you a lot too, because when it comes to audition, when people walk into a room, sometimes we're nervous for the lines. We're like, oh my God. But I think you have you embody like, you know, just the fearlessness when you're in a room.
Yeah.
And the people can, because I've casted people, and if you come in there with some, they also say, I'd rather bring you down, bring you tighter than try to have to expand you.
Yeah.
So if you wild out, like, man, he crazy, I can bring that down a little bit to where I need it at, opposed to somebody who's not giving me the energy or the thing I'm looking for when I'm directing stuff or
and
stuff.
so when folks are going out acting, they have to go all out. Do you all the way. Like you said, have them pull you back. Have them say, oh, that was good. Can you tone that down a little? But you don't want them to push you because they're not going to take any time doing that.
Right, sure, they won't do that.
They don't do
Is there a role you went out for that you wish you did, that you saw and said, man, I wish I'd have done that? I have a couple of them. I'll tell you.
Yeah, come on, I've been around a while, so there's several. You know, deep cover, I wish I had a deep cover part, but I turned it down.
What?
Sam, who ran Goldwyn?
Okay.
Of the Goldwyn brothers,
Okay.
Metro Goldwyn Mayors. So all the Goldwyns are still had power. This was in the 80s, and it was for deep cover. And I went in, and the part had 3 things. One thing was, and you know he's trying to get your attention. One thing was I was smoking crack in one scene. In another scene, I was smoking crack while I was getting head. And then the person giving me head lifted their head up, and it was a little boy giving me head.
Wow.
And it was like 3 scenes, and then 3 scenes like that. And I said, no, I can't do those things. I said, but if you let me do those scenes, I can rewrite the scene and make it still say the thing you want to say and do it. And they said, well, yeah, we'll think about it. And then they gave it to another brother. So remember the scene where the guy in deep cover was peeing and Lawrence Fishburne came in, he turned around and said, what, you want some of this and peed on? And Lawrence killed him? That was a role. That was a role I went for. But they just took out the stuff I said and gave it to somebody else. That happened to me 2 or 3 times.
Wow.
Where I would go in and say, no, this is terrible. There ain't no way I'm doing this shit. And then they, instead of letting me do it the way I think it would look good and give me a shot, it's like, fuck you, give it to somebody else, you know?
Yeah. I did that with, I'm going to say this now. When Comic View was looking for a host, I was one of the leading ones years ago. And I designed the set and told what it would be and all this that stuff. And they were like, and I gave them a package to a girl I knew that knew the person, the head person. She said, about a week later, she said, oh no, she didn't want to see it because she said she might have some of the same ideas. And guess what? They had some of the same ideas. I was like, wow, what geniuses. I was like, you motherfucker, shit. Instead of giving me the part, they gave it to Cheryl Underwood. But no disrespect to Cheryl, but whatever.
Oh my
but
God.
yeah, but okay. So you have this thing called.
Wait, I have to tell you, you know, I co-created Comic View. So the owner, Bob Johnson, brought me in to talk about how do we do something like Def Jam, not dirty. And we talked about it, we came up with ideas, we laid it out. I ain't hear from motherfuckers again for 4 months. When I looked up, it was on the air.
With DL.
DL was the host. And then they called me and said, well, we'd like to have you on the show. I said, doing what? Yeah, we want you to come on like the other comics. Fuck, I'm gonna come on the show like the other comics, and I created the show. If you want me to stand in as a host, so give me a host maybe, but no, I'm not doing that. So I only did the very special ones where I hosted or brought people on or whatever.
What? That's why you didn't do Def Jam. Yeah,
so I did very
Comic View.
Yeah, very little Comic View because I couldn't do it when I was a creator and it was treated like that.
And you created as you being a host too, or you just created what you created? So what?
Well, I created, but I would have wanted to be the host, but we never had the conversation.
But why wouldn't you? If you create a show, say I want to be the host of a show I'm creating. Have the balls,
because
man.
back then I didn't know that.
Oh.
Back then I was new here.
Okay.
So I didn't know you could have the balls.
Okay.
I didn't know you could speak up and say, hey, this is what I want to do and this is how I want to do it. You know, I thought
Hell yeah.
You know, but and then again, remember, I did that with Sam Goldwyn,
right?
And said, hey, I'm gonna put my foot down, and they said, fine, bye, nigga.
Right.
So you do it. So you do sort of have to scale it as to what works, you know.
So this is the co-creator of Comic View all this time. Y'all thought DL was.
Jeff Lee and Bob Johnson will both tell you that I co-created that show. They'll tell you that. Pick up the phone, especially Jeff Lee, who's quick to say it. He'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah, you should have been. Yeah. Well, DL did a great job as a host too. So you know.
DL was amazing.
Yeah, he's amazing
as a host. He was amazing as a host. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever been cussed out on stage?
Cussed out by who?
A motherfucker calling you a motherfucker.
From the audience?
No, motherfucking comedian. I don't like what the fuck you did. You went before them.
Oh, no. I've never had that type of thing happen because I am from the projects. So I'm quick to fight. You know, I really am. I have to stop that shit because I almost had a fight. No, I almost had a fight this weekend. In Houston. I go into a store and these two brothers in the store, you know, they niggas.
Right.
And so I came in.
You're in Houston,
I wanted to buy some jeans. It's at the Galleria. And they pulled out these jeans. They took 20 minutes to figure out what it cost. $199 for the jeans. Ooh. Them jeans I could have got for, what's that store called? Something 21. Forever 21. Right. I could have got them for Forever 21 for $12.
Oh, shit.
They want $199. I didn't say nothing about it. I turned to leave. I had my rubber chicken, which I forgot to bring my damn chicken today. I had my rubber chicken, and the guy said, hey man, you left your chicken. So I came back and got it, said, I came back for this. I walked 3 stores down, my phone rang. I opened the phone, it ain't my phone. I've accidentally picked up one of their phones that was laying on the counter, not thinking. So I'm about to take the phone back. One of them, they all big niggas, they all 6'something.
Sure.
One of them come around the corner into the store. I was coming, handing the phone. He snatched out my hand, turned around and walked away. I'm fucked up about this. You know, I'm like, you're not gonna say thank you or nothing, you gonna snatch the phone. I ain't stealing, nigga, I'm rich. I'm not gonna steal a phone. If I steal some shit, it's gonna be millions of dollars worth of shit. If I go to jail, nigga, I was trying to steal some shit from the vault, nigga. I wasn't stealing no fucking cheeseburger. You know,
you rich.
So, come on now.
But then you ain't want to pay $199 for them jeans, though,
and
nigga.
Hell no.
I'm rich, nigga. I don't know about Forever 21.
I will never spend $199 for $12 jeans. Well, I can't do it.
You're rich, nigga.
My daddy would not spend $10 for a cup of soup when he know he can go and get Campbell's
for $10.
He
wasn't rich like you are.
I came from my daddy. He was rich in spirit.
What we got on, a $99 suit then, nigga? What
This is $99. That's what I do.
Oh, hell no.
You ain't going to get me to pay more than $101. I'm paying $99 and I'm going to accessorize. You know what I'm saying? These socks cost more than the suit.
Shit,
but
damn.
Anyway, no, but it was...
Right. He snatched the phone and walked away from you.
He snatched the phone and walked away, so I was going to just speak to him about that.
Yeah.
And then he walks back into his store where the guy who owns the phone was waiting for him. And that guy walked right up to me and said, don't ever do that shit again. I'll fuck you up. I said, wait, excuse me? I mistakenly picked up your phone. Do it again, I fuck you up. I said, well, let's not wait till again. Let's go the fuck out.
No, sir.
Let's go outside
Come
right
on,
now.
Michael, you too old for that,
Let's do it. Nigga, you done put me in your category. Yeah. I ain't too old for anything,
wow, nigga. You're an elder statesman, man. I don't want you getting in fights,
no, it's just because you're not growing a beard that you don't look as senior as I am, but you're in the same category. Nigga.
I wouldn't have fought, nigga.
But nigga,
I'm light skinned, I bruised, nigga.
I'm fighting. You ain't disrespecting me in public. That ain't happening.
Right.
Or unless you whoop my ass. Right. You can't disrespect me, but you'll have to whoop my ass because I'm not having that. You know. So I'm like, what, nigga? I fuck you up, and then he went into the back. And the folks with me is like, man, just come on, man. You know, this is Houston. Everybody got guns. We don't want all that. And then I called my folks, man. My folks was like, Nick, are you at the store? We coming now. We'll air that bitch out. And I was like, no, we don't want to air nothing out. Right. He said, well, keep your phone. If anything else happens, you call us right now. We 5 minutes or what, you know. But I don't want to do all that. I don't ever want to battle with a black man.
Sure.
I don't want to battle with my people. I don't want to do that. I just don't want to be disrespectful.
They obviously didn't know who you were either.
They didn't, but the thing is, you shouldn't have to know who a person is and treat them decently.
I understand.
You know, yeah. So I just wasn't having that shit.
What I know you've talked about, but how you know, with the headliners, did you ever have a situation like that before? I mean, come on, man.
I've never had that situation. You know, the thing is, the promoter's job is to determine who the headliner is, and that's determined by how the people push, who's trying to get in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And my manager fights for that. Fight for me. I only ask for the money.
Right.
So I don't give a damn. I could go. Patty LaBelle told me this long ago. She said, "Mike, I love going first, as long as they give me my headliner money." She said, "Cause what I do is go get a box of chicken after I go on, and I sit in the audience, take my shoes off, and I watch the performance." Right. And that's me. I perform any position. Just give me my same money.
But I believe sometimes a show should, ascend.
It's always supposed to ascend.
Right. So if the top two got a problem and I hire you as a headliner, I don't give a damn if somebody else says, I should be ahead of him. No, sir. I got the show lined up. I just think she was wrong for cussing DL out for something it should have been all about the promoter. But I believe the promoter made her go on and said, look, if you ain't going on now, you ain't going on. That's what I'm saying. So she was so pissed off of that, she just took it off on everybody. And that was a mistake there. I think she should have led it with just the promoter doing that because, hey, DL, I mean, the pictures, everything was his big picture and everything. The promoter decided who he wanted.
I just think that's not her fight to fight anyway.
Who should have fought that fight
She
for
claims her man as her manager.
Oh, okay.
That's his job.
Right, sure.
It's the manager's job. Talent should never be in battles.
Okay.
Talent's job is to be fucking talented, to be creative, to perform.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
The talent don't want to get punched in the fucking face.
Right.
How you get punched in the face and then you go out and do your performance? Talent ain't supposed to be none of that shit. That's why you have representatives, and you can't be at her level of performance and not have somebody representing you. And if it's her man, that's the argument. He should have went and said, look at this paper. There's the paper. And see, like me, I get half if you talk to me. So if you calling me to book me, I get half for we haven't had nothing but a conversation and we don't need to talk anymore. So if you send me half, I have power now. If I show up and you promise me I'm going last and you don't let me, I already got half. I see you later. I'm heading back to the plane. I'm going to watch cable and I'm going home. Y'all figure that out on your own because I'm not doing it if you don't follow the contract. I just thought everybody worked like that.
Well, you're right. We do. We normally do.
Yeah.
I like what you said about her manager should took care of that business
that's representative's job.
But maybe she manages her manager.
Maybe she does. I don't know her well enough to say no stuff like that. But you don't want to be on stages doing that.
Yeah.
It's just. I mean, my question is, how do you win from that? How does she win from that? All she can get is bad publicity from that, and people give you the bad name. You're hard to work with, and you're difficult, and all that. She only do that. Plus, what happens to Grace?
Yeah.
Where's Grace?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, we're kings. We're queens.
Right, sure.
But society has done a good job of making us believe that we aren't, that we're so much less than that we should hate ourselves and that we're not enough. But God created us, man. And he created us with designer genes, man. Genes. He didn't, say, look, I'm going to take a cup and a wire hanger and make some niggas. No, he made us with the best he has. So we're already perfect.
Right, sure.
We ain't going to ask for nobody's forgiveness. God ain't been mad. He ain't never been pissed off at me. I don't have to ask for his forgiveness. He's not mad at me. All I have to do is learn to love myself. But if I love me, I have to love you because you're a king as well. Right. How do I not love the kings in my community and the queens in my community? I grew up in a neighborhood. Before there was hoods, there were neighborhoods.
Right.
I grew up in a neighborhood, brother. You fuck up on that block, any of them parents will fuck you up. And you better know that when you get home, your mama waiting for you because they called. Round 2 is waiting. Where you just get to the door? And Miss Sarah tell you what the fuck she did. Man, you in trouble. So we had a type of order. Like I watch black people walk past each other every day. They don't even speak.
Don't even speak.
You couldn't do that in my community. You had to speak to people as you walk by them. You know what I'm saying? It's just, what happened to civility? What happened to just basic decency, man?
Social media.
Social media. Ooh. That's true.
That is a powerful thing. It has some greatness to it, but it has a lot of negativity, man.
It does.
Yeah, it really does.
It's a big playing field for cowards.
Oh.
Cowards can be anonymous and say any ugly shit they want to say about you.
Yeah.
And build it up and make things up and find pictures and Photoshop.
Yeah, no, you're right. I found out something I didn't know because I have people sometimes will attack me on some social media stuff. I do a thing called Comedy Hype News, and sometimes there's stuff, and people say they're bots. A lot of people mean they're robots. They're not even really people doing that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I go to their page, it'd be 0 posts and whatever, no followers. I'm like, wow. So people take time out just to put negativity into your soul, your energy.
And how weird is that whole bot thing?
Yeah.
You go on a computer, the computer make you take a test to show you in the computer.
Damn.
What?
Yeah, that's
soon you're not gonna need humans at all.
Yeah. Ooh.
Anymore.
Ooh.
The price of gas, we ain't gonna be able to live much longer anyway.
So funny. I try to tell people who work at stores, like they always say, go to the self-checkout. No, I want to talk to you. You're a human being. I want to talk to you. Say, how you doing, Clara? How you doing, Nancy?
And I'm gonna have to talk to you anyway because it's gonna mess up. And I gotta call you.
Right.
I need some help.
And people think it's cool by sending them. Go over to the self checkout. I'm like, you're getting rid of your job. You understand this business is getting rid of your job. It's gonna come to a time where they ain't gonna need you. Banking. I go inside the bank with my money. I don't put it outside in the ATM. I want to meet my banker and talk to my counter. They're like, how you doing, P? How was your shows? We need that in society.
It's insensitive. It's all gone now, man. It's done. It's done. But I just want to keep unfolding into my greater self. I just want to keep on being a better me. I ain't trying to be better than Bernie Mac or Red Fox or Richard Pryor. Nobody. I just want to be better than Michael Colyar. If I could be better today than I was yesterday, I'm good. I don't need no more than that. Like I say, I'm a wise shopper. I don't need a $3,000 suit. I'm good.
Ooh, you clean, boy. Yes. Yeah, I thought it was $3,000 you had on.
If I don't walk in with a price tag on it, what is anybody going to think anyway?
Michael Colyar, you got to be rich.
Come on. I mean, I spent some money on this ring because it was my birthday and I'm not a vegetarian or nothing, but I thought I should have a couple of carrots, But otherwise, I don't otherwise, I don't really do all that. And I try not to hurt people in my comedy, in my work. I try not to do that.
Yeah, people love you, man. Whenever I bring your name up, they love you.
Somebody every day.
Yeah.
We need to do that.
Speaking of help, what would you, because it's different times, what would you tell a young comedian? Not as far as like what they should do on social media, but just as their act. They ask me something like, what should I do? What should I talk about? How should I do this? What would you tell a young comedian,
First thing, don't do crack. Okay, let's start with that.
Okay, well,
don't do crack.
That's always good. Okay.
Okay. I encourage people to follow their dreams.
Okay.
Your dreams are real, man. That's your shit. But you know what you do after you have a dream?
What?
Wake the fuck up.
Oh,
okay. So now once you get up, you want to work towards that dream. You want whatever that thing is, because if you had the dream, then that system is already within you. You can actualize anything you can think of. So I encourage people to, make a plan. I tell people I have a 15-minute method. I believe you can do anything in this whole wide world if you want to do 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week. Fuck it, you can take Saturday and Sunday off. Just Monday through Friday, no matter what it is, you use the 15-minute method and you'll see it in your hands in 30 days. 3 months max, you'll see the thing you want in your hand. So let's say, that's impossible, that doesn't work, whatever. Let's say you're 500 fucking pounds and you want to be a ballerina and your name is Fred.
Wow.
Okay, the first thing you want to do is figure out, you might spend 15 minutes a day trying to find good looking dance clothes for a 500-pounder, first of all. Or you may spend 15 minutes watching on the internet plus size women dancing. You might spend 15 minutes in front of a mirror doing the 5 basic steps of ballet. Whatever it is, as long as you're working towards it, 15 minutes a day, studying it or doing it 15 minutes a day, then the universe connects to it. See, once you commit to anything, the universe takes hold and providence takes hold and doors open that you didn't know were there, because we have to set our intentions. God wants you to have what you want to have, but you have to set the intention. And the universe doesn't do judgment. That's why you don't want to say negative shit, because the universe is going to fuck somebody up because you wanted that to happen because you just put it out there.
Right.
The universe is about the vibration of the energy. Somebody said, well, the universe has cursed me. Somebody said the universe has blessed me. The universe does neither one. The universe responds to your vibration.
Right, your vibration.
So whatever you send out, the universe brings back to you, and it's going to come to fore, whatever you want. You keep saying you're getting a Mercedes. You're going to get a motherfucking Mercedes. You keep saying you can get a Maybach. You're going to get a motherfucking Maybach. Something's going to happen. Some 98-year-old man that you helped 42 years ago when he needed a nickel to buy Snickers, and now he's one of the richest people in the world, died and remembered you and left you that Maybach. So I'm about people unfolding into their greater selves. I'm about people not ever quitting, never giving up, keeping that energy and a light about us, knowing that God has to be first. God has to be the most important thing in your universe. For me, I'm an addict, so sobriety has to be the most important thing in my life. But for me, that ranks with God. There's nothing more important to me than God.
You have this thing called attitude of gratitude? Explain that.
I just think that you have to walk every day with an attitude of gratitude. Like people say, well, everybody have a bad day sometime. Not me, motherfucker.
Oh, shit.
I don't have no bad days.
Nice.
Ever. And I don't mean everything always works well.
Right, sure.
But I don't allow circumstances to determine my attitude. My attitude is predetermined. It's an attitude of gratitude. I beat crack cocaine and COVID. I had COVID for 13 days, bro.
Shit.
I lost 13 pounds. Before COVID, my stomach looked like a sack of mail.
Hell
I'm
no.
wearing shit I ain't been able to wear for 7 years. I'm wearing cute shit.
COVID was good to you, boy. COVID was good to you.
I love COVID. I miss COVID.
Oh, wow.
I wish I had it 2 years ago.
Wow.
And I want people to quit. I want people to quit picking on COVID too. Everybody want to beat up COVID.
Right.
Everything COVID for. I can't come to work.
Right.
COVID. Oh man, I'm sorry, I fucked your wife.
Ooh,
COVID. You know, just
damn.
everything want to be blamed
on COVID.
No, but so I beat crack cocaine and COVID. So you can't beat a complaint out of me. I won't complain about anything. I wake up every day with an attitude. If I open my eye, shit, already won. You know how many people went to bed last night who had plans for today who ain't here no more?
You speak on it, brother.
So every breath is a gift. So I walk through life like that. I'm grateful. I help everybody I can see. I try to give money. I encourage people to give $3 a day, at least $3 a day to somebody in the street that needs. Don't give them $1. You can't do the number with $1 but buy a stick they hit a nigga in the head with.
Right.
Give somebody $3. Let them buy a sandwich or something.
Right.
Let them build towards it. But in helping others, you help yourself. And the universe is going to keep on blessing you if you keep blessing other people. And no one can hurt you if you keep God first. And there's so many people out there who will damage you because they feel bad about themselves.
Right.
But if you keep God first, man, can't nobody hurt you, man. You can do shit to you. What the fuck they going to do? One with God is the majority, you know? My greatest Bible story, and I ain't no Bible cat. I don't know all the Bible. I've read a lot of it. A lot of it I believe in, but a lot of it I don't fuck with. You know, I mean, you got a Bible that talks about slaves, but nowhere in the Bible does it say don't have one. It tells you how you could treat your slave, but it don't tell you don't have one.
Nice.
You know, so there's things I take issue with, you know, but my favorite story is David and Goliath, though, man. David whooped this giant's ass, and Goliath was a giant, mean, nasty, tooth-missing, motherfucking bad breath son of a bitch.
That was your drugs.
He was a motherfucker.
You beat it, yeah.
Well, I hadn't done that analogy, but I did beat it like that. But no, I'm talking about society. See, it's not about what you have, it's who you with. Mm-hmm. David took Goliath out, not because he had a smooth stone from the water, not because he was David, but because he was with God. He said, man, I'm gonna whoop your ass, not because of what I have or who I am, but do you see who I'm with? So I always try to keep God first, and then everything else comes easy. The comedy comes easy. Health I'm the healthiest I've ever been.
Really?
Oh my God, I'm the healthiest I've ever been. I pop up in the morning ready to go. I can't wait, man. My heart is pumping 35% faster.
You see a doctor all the time? Once a year at least?
No, once a year.
Once a year. Good.
Once a year I go and see someone, and I'm due.
Black folks, black men.
Yeah,
do
black
that.
men won't
Please.
usually go to the doctor
We need to go.
unless the limb is hanging the fuck off.
That's very true.
By then it's a little late. You're a little tardy. You know. But yeah, I want to create great work. You know, I have 11 projects I'm on now.
I know you got on your CD. I just a CD called "Let Me Drop This on You."
Oh, yes, my new CD.
CD
is "Let Me Drop This on You." I'm sitting on the toilet, and the name of it is "Let Me Drop This on You." But that's just on the cover. But the jokes are really, really cool. I shot them at the Atlanta Comedy Theater.
So it's a DVD, not a CD. It's a DVD.
No, it's a CD.
Niggas don't listen to CDs. Nigga, what's wrong with you?
I have no idea. But they made it.
You got 8-track
but we're
next
gonna
coming
get
out?
it made so you can get the what's name. So you can use the code.
Oh,
the QR
to watch
code.
it.
Yeah, so to listen to it.
Oh, listen to it.
To listen to it. So it's gonna be like you can listen to it on your devices. So when you come to my club, you pay me like $40. Now you pay for the photo, and I give you this QR code. You can lift up the show whenever you want to.
Boy, you're getting modern.
And I don't know most of this stuff. I'm technically retarded. I'm thinking about renting a teenager so I can help figure the rest of this shit out. You know.
Well, this is actually perfect timing. We do a thing called IG creeping. Okay. So what it is we go to your IG page. Since you're talking about you need a young person to work on this shit. We go on your IG page. We pull up some photos to see what the fuck you've been working on, what you've been doing. You know what I'm saying? And we want to see what you're doing. So we working on something. We got an idea. So I pulled a couple pictures out. On your IG page, because you got a crazy ass IG page for your age. You still acting wild out here. When I say age,
so much fun.
Yeah, I like the energy at our age. You know, I'll say our age.
Yeah,
at our age.
Finally, the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
So what about? I want to know what you was thinking when you had this picture right here. What was you thinking? What was going on in this?
I was thinking there's not enough of me.
Really?
Okay?
3 of you in this one picture?
We need as much of me as we can get. My daughter did that, photoshopped it for me, and she made me sit in these different positions Just so I could just have a day with me.
Really?
You know, I like to talk to myself.
Do you?
Yeah, I think I like talking to an intelligent man. I like to hear an intelligent man talk, and who else is gonna listen? So yeah.
All right,
yeah.
and what were you thinking when you saw this right here, this picture right here? Is this the motherfucker
That's
cover?
the cover of my album.
You shitting on folks? You the shit on this one.
Yeah, and in my TikTok is Michael Colyar 135. In TikTok, I tell a joke from the toilet. I tell a whole joke from the toilet. And my daughter opens the door, and I'm sitting there, and I tell a joke. I love it. And then she closed the door back.
I love it. Got your tighty whities on. Look at you.
Oh, yeah, boy.
Look at you, boy. Look at you.
Come on, look at them thighs, nigga.
Hell no.
Come on, somebody. Ladies, I am recently single. I do want to mention that. Not that it has anything to do with anything, but I just
and this photo will get you. Okay, and this photo will get you. What about this now? Okay, what we got to get?
I was just having too much fun in the mirror, and when I looked in the mirror and saw how shiny my head was, I said I gotta take a picture of that look. That's all.
You got a lot going on in that picture.
That's a lot. Don't show no butt naked pictures.
You don't do that? Well, hey.
Okay, some of them made it to IG.
What? Okay, here's another one. What about this one right here? Okay, what we got?
Food, glorious food. I was actually in a restaurant that's at my favorite place to shop, The Grove.
You the Grove right there?
That's The Grove, and that's what's their biggest store?
I thought the
Where
Grove
they pay a lot for shoes. Women pay a lot for shoes at this store. What's the big?
Neiman Marcus?
Neiman Marcus.
Yeah, Neiman Marcus.
So they have a Neiman Marcus right there in the corner. No, it's another one. It's one along the
Nordstrom?
Nordstrom. There's a Nordstrom, and on the second floor, they have a little diner, and I was sitting there eating.
I ate a lot. Not that, but I ate at a Nordstrom Cafe called Nordstrom Cafe.
Yeah, and they called me mid-bite, you know.
Hell no, we got one more. Let me see what the fuck, what is this?
Oh, my God.
Is this San Francisco? Where is that at? San Francisco?
That's Baltimore. At the Baltimore Harbor, they have this giant who's all in the sand, and you can see his hand coming out, his face, and then if you walk down, you don't see the rest of the body, but you walk half a block, then you see his knee come out and the foot come out. It's a really just...
Is it called Awakening? We have in D.C. called Awakening. I don't know if that's called Awakening.
Well, I have no idea. I lost those glasses, and I'm so mad about that.
What's that got them now? Flame Monroe, she's wearing them.
Flame Monroe has them now.
Flame Monroe wearing those right there, okay?
Rick Ross trying to get them from me.
Hell no.
I met him one time, and he thought that I was... what's the designer out of Harlem?
Yeah.
Everybody said me. He looks like him.
Yeah. Dapper Dan.
And he thought I was Dapper Dan
right now
at the awards. And he came over, I had them glasses on. He said, "Man, I love your work." I said, "Nigga, you don't know me."
Okay.
But I love your work. He said, "You're not Dapper Dan?" I said, "No, I'm a nigga telling jokes." He said, I know you from somewhere." And but I ain't giving him glasses. He wanted me to give him glasses.
All right, well, this is what we do here on the show too. We do a thing called spin the wheel, okay?
Spin the wheel.
That's what we do. We get our guests in here. We got to spin the wheel. Whatever happens on that wheel, you have to kind of participate in. And let me take you some of the subjects. We got something you'll get off your chest, okay?
What a great wheel.
We also have a secret you told, you never told before. A celebrity crush call. You pick your cell phone up. You pick your cell phone up and you make a call. Give me a fake call, but you call into a celebrity that you have a crush on, preferably a female that you call. You're trying to get her to come to your house, or her to come to your house.
Yeah.
So, who would you change places with and why? Would you play? You know what I'm saying?
Well, you of course.
Well, okay. Well, it makes sense. What? Let me see. What's a perfect romantic evening? What's the last one I got to go? Well, one more. I had another one I like. Oh, the biggest lie you ever told. So really, any of the stories you just told me in the last hour.
Yeah, any of those will work.
Repeat that, motherfucker. Okay. Anyone you want to repeat.
Most of those fall right in that category.
Okay. So like I said, get off your chest, secret stuff. So we do a drum roll for. Just give him a drum roll as you spin it. I'm gonna hold right here.
I pull it this way.
Yeah, man. No, you spin it, brother. You spin it as hard as you can.
Here we go.
Chicago spin. Let's see where
drum roll. Okay.
Let's go where it ends at.
No, I need to spin a big more than that.
Bam! There you go. That's what I'm talking.
Yeah.
Chicago spin. And it went to what? It went
Something
to
red.
A celebrity crush call.
So how you do it?
So what you do is this: you pick your phone. You get your cell phone.
Because I'm not calling her.
No, you ain't gotta call her, man.
Okay.
You ain't gotta call her. So I want to know, as an actor, you're an actor now. You pick the phone up. Regina's on the other line. And what would you say to her? You have 1 minute to see how you can either get her to come to your house or you to go to her house. You can shower her with love or whatever you want to do. However you would say that as an actor. You're on scene. Regina's your girlfriend. It's a theater, okay? So how would you really get it? And quiet, y'all. Quiet on set, please. The phone's ringing, and you gotta let us know, and go.
I would say, hey, Regina, here I am. Now, I know you was looking for me. Yeah, so here I am. I'm right here waiting to talk to you, waiting to grow with you, waiting to learn from you. Want to act? I want to be directed by you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if I'll be able to get through it because of how sensitive I'm being, how emotional, but I want to be directed by you. I want to talk to you. I want to have a long conversation with you about what it was like to make it from childhood to where you are and be the very tip of your top, and you don't stop, and you fine as frog's hair. Have you ever seen frog hair? You can't see it, Regina. It's too damn fine. Anyway, you continue to get fine, smarter, wiser, sharper, and just let me know where I need to come and get you. I got the Maybach. It's downstairs running right now. I'm coming to get you. Just text me the address. Thank you, and God bless you real good. You are as awesome as a human being could be, and as fine as a woman need to be. You ain't go no further. Stop right there.
Give it up for Mr. Michael Colyar. I mean, that's why you were great job. Here, man, I like to be.
Truth is easy.
I know that's right. I like to be a little different on my show. I like to give out gifts. I'm a gift giver.
I'm gonna get that book.
That book, and I'm gonna sign it to you. It's all the celebrities I met, the encounters I had with them, and so forth.
My 100 homies and phonies.
I'm glad you're losing some weight. This is a medium. It's a small. It's the biggest.
That's my size now.
A medium's what it is.
I was large until I had COVID.
So you can rock out my shirt right there.
Oh, I'm exercising that shirt.
That's what? There it is right there, man. There it is right there.
Thank you.
Hey, man, thank you for coming, man. I really appreciate it, Michael.
And I wasn't coming. I was just breathing hard. But I'll tell you this.
Oh shit.
It's been a fantastic time, brother.
I appreciate it, man.
But you've been my friend for more years than I can count. You've always had integrity.
I appreciate
You've always been, just a sharp brother. So I'm honored that y'all let me in here. Can I tell people all the stuff I'm doing for y'all?
Come on, man.
Out of here?
That's your camera right there.
Okay, y'all know I already have 3 books out, but we're not gonna count them.
Okay.
I have a new children's book coming out, and both of my books comes out in mid-October.
Nice.
It's called Little Johnny White. It's about a little black boy who always succeeds because he always attempts to do the right thing. But I'm also doing my first book of erotica. But I cannot tell y'all the name of it because not only just the name is secret, but y'all ain't gonna. It's coming soon.
Oh no, that's right.
Yes, it is. You're gonna be coming soon when you read this book of erotica, which also comes out mid-October. So you want to look for that. I do my morning show, the Michael Colyar Morning Show, 5 days a week, 7 a.m. Central Time on YouTube. So far, we've done 429 shows. So Monday through Friday, 5 days a week. If you want to get up and start your day with laughter,
there it is.
Comedy, spoken word, and prayer. We pray at every show. Please jump in the Michael Colyar Morning Show, and I'm about to get the biggest ever podcast. I'm about to get my own podcast.
There it is.
I'll be announcing that in just a few weeks. And don't forget to get my record. Let me drop this on you. Okay, that's enough. I do parties. I do weddings, divorces, Passover, hangover. I do a party in the phone booth if you promise to call. I take green stamp, food stamp, Canadian money, EBT. I take your bus transfer if it's got some time left on it. Can I tell a gay joke?
You can tell.
I want to tell a gay joke because I'm just tired of everybody want to be PC. I tell a joke at my show, and I said to the people, if you are gay or lesbian or LGBTXYZ, if you're in any of those, if you're a friend of a family member, and this joke offends you at all, please tell me, and I will never tell it publicly again.
Okay.
So I tell this joke recently because I think people are too PC. Comedians are losing their craft because they're not able to do their routines. Because everybody complain, everybody want to cancel you out and all this stuff. But I love this joke. I don't think it's offensive. I just think it's funny. It just happens to be gay. So you tell me. And if you're offended, I'm not going to tell it again. Okay. So these 2 gay guys.
Oh, man, come on. Don't do that. I'm offended already.
I can't tell that no more.
Go ahead.
I got to zip it.
No, go ahead.
These 2 gay guys was playing hide and seek.
Okay.
So one of them said, well, if you find me, I'm going to suck your dick.
Oh,
and the other one said, but what if I can't find you? He said, I'll be behind the couch. I just think it's funny.
Give it up. She finally got it. She finally got it.
I don't think it's offensive.
No, it's funny, man. Thank you, Michael, so much for coming through, brother.
Thank y'all for having me.
Give it up for Michael Colyar. Give it up for Michael Colyar.
All right, thank you.
Yes, brother. Like I said, man, thank you so much. Yo, another great show. Thank y'all, man, for watching it and supporting. Don't forget to hit the notification bell, boom, or the subscribe button, man. Thank y'all. Like I said, I'm so happy and I feel so blessed, man, when I have people like yourself come through here, man.
Thank you, sir.
I really do appreciate it because you didn't have to come, man. So thank y'all, man. Thank y'all for supporting it, man. And guess what? We got another show, man. Next week, same time. All right, y'all? I'll let your boy, man. Thank you.
Woo, woo, woo.
There it is.
That's what they say on my show.